Welcome back, Guilford. I'm Ashley Lynch with GNN, and this is your week. On Tuesday, February 1st, the co-founder of Food Not Bombs, a worldwide food hunger activism group, came to Guilford to speak and sit in on some classes to give a solar-powered bread baking demonstration. Food Not Bombs shares free vegan and vegetarian meals with the hungry in over 1,000 cities around the world to protest war, poverty, and the destruction of the environment. Author and social entrepreneur Lila Steel will open a lecture series on sustainable economic development with a talk on Tuesday, February 8th at 8 p.m. in Joseph Bryan Jr. Auditorium. The talk is free and open to the public. He has received numerous awards and honors for his outreach on alternative energy sources, including the Governor's Award for Excellence in Waste Reduction from the North Carolina Department of Environmental and Natural Resources. In 2004, the North Carolina Environmental Educators Association named him the Environmental Educator of the Year. Guilford's Department of Theater Studies continues its 2010 to 2011 season with the student performance of David Lindsay Airbearer's 2000 Pulitzer Prize winner, Rabbit Hole. Performances are February 11th through the 12th and 17th through the 19th at 8 p.m. in the Sternberger Auditorium, located in Founders Hall. Rabbit Hole is a story of a family in crisis. Tickets are $5 for general public and $3 for all members of the Guilford College campus community. Assistant Professor of History Damon Atkins will lead a discussion for the Guilford College Friends of the Library, Landscapes and the Peoples They Create, situating the writings of Jeannette Walls, Sunday, February 6 at 3 p.m. in the Carnegie Room of Hagee Library on campus. Walls is the author of the memoir The Glass Castle, which details her upbringing in extreme poverty. The book sold over 2 million copies, spent 3 years on the New York Times bestsellers list, and was named one of the top 10 books of the decade by Amazon. Walls is also a journalist whose work has appeared in the New York Magazine, Esquire, U.S. Today, and on MSNBC. And now for world news. In Brazil on January 28th, Sao Paulo Fire Chief Jorge Luis Dias Martins turned himself in for allegations of killing at least 8 drug users. Martins' son was murdered in the same neighborhood as these murders. Investigators are looking into the possibility of the murders being the vengeance of Martins' son's death. Over a week ago, protests broke out in Egypt, demanding the end of President Mubarak's 30 years in power. In the days following, there have been non-stop protests, riots, looting with little stop. The country shut down the internet, though a select number of people have helped the country communicate through unknown sites. The cabinet got dissolved with a promise of being recreated. As of February 1st, Mubarak says he won't run for re-election. Here's Associate Professor of Political Science Ken Gilmore to speak on what's going on in Egypt and its effect on the world.
This is a real important moment for politics in the Middle East. It's one of those moments that's going to define the future in the region for decades to come. So it's really important that we get this right.
And now for U.S. news. On January 31st, a Florida judge ruled that the health care bill that passed through Congress last March is unconstitutional. Roger Vinson said that the government was forcing citizens to buy health insurance. This is the 4th federal court decision in regard to the bill. 2 judges have upheld the bill, and Vinson and a Virginia judge has ruled against it. The Justice Department is expected to appeal the decision. For sports news, the men's basketball team defeated a top 10 ranked team for the 2nd straight week when its knockoff, number 9, Randolph-Macon 62-61 at home, January 29th. Josh Pittman scored 25 of his game-high 30 points in the second half to lead the Quakers, who improved 13-7 overall and 7-4 in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. Pittman hit 9 of 10 shots in the second period, including a perfect 5 of 5 from behind the three-point arch. The men's team has won 53 of 59 games at Reagan Brown Fieldhouse since the start of the 2006-2007 season, a 90% winning rate. On January 22nd, the Quakers defeated then number 2 Virginia Wesleyan 64-61. On January 3rd, they upended then number 13 St. Mary's 61-57. January 3rd at home. The men's team has 5 regular season games left. Also in sports, unfortunately for the women's basketball, on Saturday, January 29th, Roanoke College defeated the Quakers with a final score of 85-77. Roanoke's Rebecca Bays and Nikki Moats each scored 21 points as Roanoke defeated Guilford in the Old Dominion Athletic Conference Saturday afternoon. However, Guilford's Jaslyn Gibbs led all scorers with a game-high 24 points in the losing effort. Gabby Oglesby notched a double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds to go along with the game-high 5 block shots. Classmates Logan Terry and Kayla Adams chipped in 10 and 11 points respectively. The Quakers return into action Tuesday, February 1st on the road against the ODAC rival Randolph College at 7 o'clock. And that's all for this week's news, and make sure to stay tuned for next week's broadcast.